What's up guys, it's Forza Memories, and in today's video, I'm going to go over the top 8 most underrated cars in Forza. Each of these cars are awesome and perform well, but are either not used by players or are not talked about enough despite being one of the best performers in its class. At number 8, we have the 1996 Ferrari F50 GT. The F50 GT has always been a go-to for the higher rated performance classes because its handling is just amazing. The F50 GT is the race variant of the Ferrari F50, but it's actually never competed in a race before, which is a shame because the F50 GT was a monster thanks to its 4.7 liter naturally aspirated V12 that puts a whopping 750 horsepower. The F50 GT was a monster on the track, having ran a faster lap on the Fiorano circuit than the Ferrari 333 SP, which was a literal Le Mans prototype car. Now in Forza, the F50 GT has always been one of the best cars to use in the higher classes. It sticks to the road and is really quick. Its best performance was in Horizon 1, where it was arguably the best R1 class car in the game. Using the F50 GT in circuit races would guarantee you will win. However, since it competed in R1, it did have a slower top speed for sprint races. But regardless, the F50 GT has been amazing in every Forza that has appeared in. At our 7th spot, we have the 2009 Corvette C6 ZR1. The ZR1 first appeared in Horizon 1 and has been a really good S-Class car in every Forza game it's appeared in. The ZR1 was actually the first Corvette to feature a supercharger, which helped its 6.2 liter LS9 V8 deliver 638 horsepower and 604 pound-feet of torque. The ZR1 was the first factory-made Corvette to have a top speed of over 200 miles per hour, as well as being the first Corvette to cost over $100,000. Dating back all the way to Horizon 1, the ZR1 has always had monstrous power in S-Class. There's not a single Forza game that the ZR1 does not have less than 1,000 horsepower with upgrades in S-Class. In Horizon 5, the ZR1 is one of the best S-Class cars with a power build, because it's capable of a whopping 1,307 horsepower. Even with the monstrous horsepower, it's still relatively easy to drive and handles very well. It's definitely my go-to for S-Class sprint races. At number 6, we have the 2010 Noble M600. Now this car right here has been one of my favorite cars to use in Forza because it looks so cool. Underneath the hood of the M600 lies a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 that outputs 650 horsepower and 605 pound-feet of torque. The M600 is just a ridiculous car with a 0 to 60 of 2.9 seconds and a top speed of 225 miles per hour. But the best part about the Noble M600 was that it has no driving assist and only comes in a manual. The M600 in the earlier Forza games was super underrated because it was cheap, costing under 500,000 credits, despite being one of the best cars for the higher rated classes. It had a very high top speed, quick acceleration, and good handling. However, in Horizon 1, it's not used much because it does not share the same excellent performance it had in the earlier games. At our 5th spot, we have the 1991 GMC Cyclone. The Cyclone has been around in Forza for a while, and I can't recall one game that it wasn't really good in. The Cyclone features a 4.3 liter turbocharged V6 that outputs 280 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque. The Cyclone is one of the craziest trucks ever made. It was one of the quickest production vehicles you could buy in 1991 with 0 to 60 of 4.2 seconds. To really show how quick it was, its 0 to 60 was just 0.4 seconds slower than the Ferrari F40. Only 3,000 Cyclones were ever made, so it's definitely become a collector's item. In Forza, the Cyclone has always been one of the most versatile vehicles in the game. It's crazy how fast it is on not only dirt races, but also on road races in both A and B class. The Cyclone is extremely quick, handles well, and has elite top speed. It's without a doubt the undisputed best pickup truck in the Forza franchise. At number 4, we have the 2012 Ascari KZ1R. The KZ1R first appeared in Horizon 1 and has really become forgotten in the car world, which honestly sucks because its performance was ridiculous. The KZ1 came packed with the E39 BMW M5's 4.9 liter naturally aspirated V8 that was tuned to produce an output of 520 horsepower. The KZ1 that is in Forza is actually the race variant called the KZ1R, which competed in the FIA GT3 Championship. However, the reason why the KZ1 didn't sell well was because it was really expensive, costing $370,000. Now in Forza, the KZ1 has always been very fast in S-Class. Its handling, braking, and top speed are elite, which makes it a great choice to use in S-Class. Even in Horizon 5, with the power build, it's not much slower than the meta cars like the Jaguar AJR15 of S-Class. The KZ1 is without a doubt one of the most underrated cars. Entering our top 3, we have the 2019 Elemental RP1. The RP1 is the newest car on our list, having been added a year ago to Horizon 5 as a DLC car. The RP1 is literally a borderline road legal race car. Some notable race car features that the RP1 has is its feet-up driving position, which is found in F1 cars, and also its really low height of only 42 inches from top to bottom. At the heart of the RP1 lies a 2-liter twin-turbo inline 4 that helps the RP1 output 320 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. With those power figures and a weight of only 1,400 pounds, the RP1 can go 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds. The RP1's race car identity is definitely showcased in Horizon 5 because it's an absolute monster in S-Class. It currently holds 5 world records and is by far the best S-Class car for circuit races. It has extremely quick acceleration and launch while having the best handling in not only S-Class, but quite possibly the whole game. The only downside of the RP1 is that its top speed is low and costs $5 to get in the first place. But besides that, the RP1 is a beast in Horizon 5 and is very underrated for its performance. At our second spot, we have the 2004 Celine S7. The Celine S7 is one of the few cars that has appeared in literally every Forza game, and it's still a beast thanks to a 7-liter naturally aspirated V8 that produces 575 horsepower and 570 pound-feet of torque. Now, the S7 is one of the greatest American cars to appear in motorsport, with 154 podiums and 79 wins, including a class win in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It was one of the craziest cars you could have gotten in the early 2000s, not only because of its horsepower, but because it had no driving assist, no airbags, and a pure 6-speed manual transmission. In all honesty, I believe the S7 is one of the best cars in the Forza franchise. Not one game has the S7 not been a top-tier car. Even in Horizon 5, it's still very fast in S-Class, and the LM version, which is a DLC car unfortunately, is a monster in S2 class. In addition, the S7 was also the fastest car in Motorsport 4, being able to reach a top speed of 272 miles per hour. The S7 has always been a go-to in S-Class for me because its handling is really good and it usually comes in at a lower PI for S-Class. So there's a lot of room for upgrades even though it's already a good S-Class car stock. And at number 1, we have the 2010 Josh JT1. It's just a fact that this Australian monster was the most dominant car in the early Forza games. The JT1 came packed with a massive 6.8-liter naturally aspirated V8 that delivered 500 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque. The JT1 unfortunately never came to production due to financial troubles, which caused Josh to close down. But before Josh disappeared from the world, the JT1 had all the hype in the world because of its high power to weight ratio due to it weighing only 2,000 pounds. You combine that low weight with its high power figures and you had one of the only cars in the mid-2000s that could go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. So as I said earlier, the JT1 was meta in the earlier Forza games. In Motorsport 4, the JT1 was by far the best R3 class car in the game. It was extremely fast and handled like an F1 car. The JT1 owned pretty much every record in R3 class. In Horizon 1, the JT1 was the only car that could reach the max performance index of 999, which made it the best R1 class car in the game. It was extremely fast and launched like a rocket on top of its amazing handling. However, many people have forgotten about the JT1 as it only has 92 votes in the Forza car voting forum. Well, that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one.